gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video. I believe that different races evolved differently to suit the environments that they were in, right? So when we say, let's say, some, darker skinned races are low IQ, we don't really mean it in a trans contextual manner. What we mean is the environments that they're best dealing with is more chaotic, real time. Think of it like if a lion comes to your face, you want to be violent against that lion so that that violent lion has the less chance of survival. But that's not going to be great for a sedentary lifestyle in America where you actually need to reason out and pass the logic in real time. I guess what I'm trying to say is some cultures, some communities, some races are built by evolution to be more reactive to the environment than others. And I think that's what we're seeing over here in America.
All right, Black Suited Fire, you go ahead and go ahead and parse that out.
I'm done.
Okay, cool. Then we will move on to Mo, and shout out to Gen Z Mindset. Thank you for coming on the panel.
Yes, sir.
How many push-ups did you do today?
Today's my day off. I'm just watching college football. So
okay, cool, man. Shout out to the football season. It's coming, y'all. So Mo, we'll put this question to you. This young woman lost her life, and was it systematic racism or was it low IQ? What do you think?
Oh my goodness, it's going to be the systematic racism. We got to defund the police. We got to do all this stuff. No, it's definitely low IQ. And it's mainly because a lot of people, they don't have the foresight to understand the situation that they're in. It's like my man said, she had to think of what's going on in the future. He's got to think of, she's got to live to fight another day. And, this is going to sound like I'm bashing women, but I don't care. Women are more emotional when it comes to these type of situations than men are. She was probably emotional. She probably had her hormones out of control because she was pregnant. I'm not trying to make excuses for her, but when you have your emotions out of control, you don't take a step back and think of the foresight and the ramifications of the situation that you're in. So it's obviously low IQ, and obviously the policeman, he probably overreacted. But we also have to think, maybe he's been in this situation before, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, here's the thing, if I could interject here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Definitely.
This is absolutely a justified shooting. For one, you have this woman who is not listening to direction, not listening to the police telling her to stop, get out of the car. She obviously went into that Kroger to steal. She is a pregnant woman stealing liquor. Okay, so what business does a pregnant woman have?
Allegedly.
Stealing liquor, drinking liquor. It ain't. And here's the thing: it ain't gonna be no allegedly when the surveillance footage drops and you see her ratchet ass with her ratchet ass friends trying to steal liquor while she's pregnant.
Allegedly.
So she got a free abortion and it was brought on by herself. Here's the thing. These women need to, for one, start learning how to listen, because these are the women who are raising our children. She has 3 kids she was about to have another kid. She already had a couple kids before at the age of 21. I'm pretty sure they're most likely from different baby daddies. So, this woman is absolutely out of control. When that police officer fired his firearm at her, she had put that vehicle in drive. And once she puts that vehicle in drive while the police officer is standing in front of that vehicle, it now becomes a weapon. So this is 100% a justified shooting. And she got exactly what she asked for.
All right. Well, Thank you, Gen Z. We got his answer. So the other gentleman that was interjecting a little bit, obviously you disagree with some of what Gen Z Mindset was saying. So what say you? Was it systematic racism or low IQ or something else? I really like to hear your opinion, sir.
Here's the thing, and maybe because I'm a little bit older gentleman on the panel, two things can be true. First, it's two things can be true. The cop can be out of order, and so can the young lady. This was about responsibility. Who has the responsibility in situations like this? Which is the person who has the authority to take the life. That person has the ultimate responsibility on the decisions that are made in that situation. Now, as Black folk in this country, for us to not understand that when we interact with law enforcement, that there's always going to be some extra special sauce on that, it's reckless on our part not to understand that. And when you, as an American citizen, forget being a Black American, you as an American citizen, you have one right with the police and with the police encounter. One, the right to remain silent. Regardless of you being detained, questioned, anything, you do not have to engage with the police officer. And the moment that young lady, and God, it's cringeworthy. The moment that young lady put that damn car in gear, she have been alive enough in this country to know that was going to end bad for her.
But here's the thing.
Two things can be true. The cop should have never been standing in front of that car. The cop absolutely overreacted. I'm tired of watching, the extra sauce with our stuff. And I'm sick of us not understanding what's about to happen when we interact with fellow police officers. I don't give a damn how much you comply. If that cop perceives anything that, and it's his or her perception, perceive anything, they will take us out. We have to come to terms with the fact that in this country, it is almost permissible to off one of us. We might not like it. It might be unfair, but that's our reality. Your job at the end of the day, if you are a person of color, if you have an interaction with the police officer, is to make it back home alive. So yes, two things can be true. The woman was at fault, so was the cop. Now, to answer your question, hold
on. What's your name again, sir? I forgot.
TJ.
Okay, TJ. Before we interject on that, everybody hit the like, subscribe, and also let's keep this show going. Maybe in another 40 minutes we'll end it, but if we want to keep extending it out, because this is a really good conversation so far, we got some more people coming in. So kind of help us along with a couple of donations, and also, like I said, go to CT's main channel, subscribe there, leave comments and all that. So interact. And he left a message, or he left a comment that said he's disgusted in me, Blacks who defy and Black Gen Z mindset. Well, I understand you believe she was a beautiful Black woman, but unfortunately, it's a bridge too far for me. I don't know about these two other gentlemen, but the blonde hair just does it for me. It triggers me. Yeah. I can't do the cave woman hair on beautiful Black skin. I just can't do it. What do you guys say on this one real quick, and we'll move on?
I mean, here's the thing.
My last point is 5 seconds.
No, hold on, TJ. Hold on. We'll get back to you, sir. We'll get back to you.
Well,
go ahead.
Here's the issue. Nobody is bringing up the fact that this is a pregnant woman stealing liquor. I mean, and we're trying to justify her actions. This is not a rational person. This is not a rational person. This is a woman who doesn't care about her seed, okay? Who doesn't care about her own health, and she is acting in a way that she has seen perpetuated online, because we have Black people going in stores, mass looting, and what this ultimately does is raise the cost of goods. These store owners, they've already said that the costs are going to pass down to the consumers. So they're making it bad for everybody. I actually hope that this happens even more often, because the looting needs to stop. We need severe repercussions for the actions of these people who are going in to these grocery stores, going into these retail stores. forcing these people to shut down their businesses, forcing these food deserts. We want to talk about food deserts in the Black community. Well, the reason why there are food deserts are because, for one, you're going into these establishments and stealing all the damn food, so they can't operate. They can't operate and be profitable when you're going in there and stealing all the food and having them have to hire armed security and whatnot. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, the behavior that is being displayed coming from the Black community and the justification of these actions, especially when we have the fact that, for one, she didn't have a license plate on the car. She's illegally parked in a handicap space. And she was strategically parked in that handicap space so that she would be closer to the exit, so that she could run out with her liquor, with her ratchet ass, dusty ass friends.
Okay, look, I'm gonna call it here first. Gen Z mindset will be one of the new founding American fathers, just like the Purge. I'm telling y'all right now. Look, also, Blacks, what makes this woman not a nice, beautiful Black woman? Like, what do you say? And then we'll get back to TJ.
Absolutely nothing makes her a nice, beautiful Black woman. I believe she can procreate. That much is true. Correct? Was that her fourth child that she decided
to? She was working on her third.
So that was her third child that she decided to suicide?
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Decision making. Critical decision making. We're missing, like Gen Z said, this is a young woman who was pregnant, who decided to go into a grocery store and steal liquor for whatever reason, whether it was to sell or to consume. Don't know the reason. All I do know is she was in pursuance of breaking a law. Okay. In terms of her, I don't know, her sobriety and her womanhood, I can't say, man. I don't like the weave at all, but that's neither here or there. She's a felon in the midst of a felonious action. And
you already know her criminal record?
She's a felon stealing liquor, isn't that?
Yeah, and her grandmother had a restraining order. Her grandmother had a restraining order out on her. So this woman has a history of bad behavior. How do you get a restraining order put on you by your own grandmother? Grandmama's supposed to invite you over for supper on Sundays after church. Grandmama's supposed to feed you. Grandmama is supposed to keep you at that table until your belly is full. How in the hell do you have grandmama file a restraining order out on you? And a woman, for that matter, absolutely ridiculous. This woman was trouble from the get-go, and she deserved everything that she got.
Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. Order. We do need to get back to TJ, and then after that, we need to have I don't know if that's Black Rick or whoever. We need to get him on there, and then we'll get Rick, and then Be Brave. So
let me say something real quick before TJ, and I'll say real quick. Look, along with prosecuting this officer that acted like a damn fool, why couldn't we as a nation have a study as to why would somebody put a car in drive, knowing a police officer's on your hood, and you'd put a car in drive? There's something going on here in the Black community. They're being fed that they're invincible.
No,
and that
they're just
rights
dumb.
I don't know. I think it is dumb. But I think it's also being fed that they're invincible and that they have rights now beyond regular humans.
Yes.
This case could be a study. Who would put a car in drive with a police officer and a gun in your face? There's something that she felt invincible. As Gen Z said, she's got restraining orders on her. As I said earlier, she's got 3 children. She's making them with, it doesn't matter who. The Black culture is a disaster that has already happened.
Okay, well, Rick, we'll get you in there. TJ, go ahead.
Real quick, you guys are disgusting. You know what? I have to start listening to more YouTube channels instead of being a content creator. Gen Z, you know I rock with you, sir. If you say that the prices are going up because of Negroes, sir, I have to disagree with you.
That's a
labor
fact.
shortages, shipping disruptions, supply chain challenges, increased shipping costs,
It's multifaceted, sir.
No. Global trade issues are the reason why certain items are more expensive. Not Negroes running into stores and looting. Stop it.
That's guys not completely true.
I'm gonna report this channel.
No, it's CT. No, that is part of it too.
Yeah, I just did a story on the retailers in LA. The Louis stores, the Ferragamo stores, Nordstrom, Saks Fifth, all of them have said that because of the mass looting, the prices are going to go up and it's going to be passed down by the consumers. This is stated by their CEO. So
also too, we'll get you in there, Rick, but go ahead, TJ. But CT, he's being simptastic today. He's done this one other time before, so it'll get out of his system. It comes back every few months. It's like a flare up. So CT will be right back to normal. His next live stream talking about the blacks. So don't worry, everybody. He'll be fine. So go ahead, TJ. Go ahead and rock out, sir.
Yeah, I can't believe you guys got me up here defending a Thoughtsilla. I just excuse me. This is ridiculous. First of all, there's a lot of conjecture about her motivation and what she was doing and what she's that's just all. Look, when I don't know, we always talk about let the facts come out. We're talking about police shootings. With this lady, let the facts come out. Now, is she a Thoughtsilla? Yes. Why? Because she has 3 kids. She's under 21, all of that. Listen, I come from a dysfunctional family. Her grandmother might be like 48 years old, dude. So she might come from a long line of Thougtzillas and rat mongers. So I place no credibility on that aspect of it. But to clarify, because I do have a legal background.
Well, you do need evidence to get a restraining order passed, though.
No, you do not.
Yes, you do.
I have a legal background, dude. You're talking to somebody with a legal degree.
It depends on the state.
You can't just go and get a restraining order on a random person you don't know.
Most of the time,
Gen Z, I will agree with them a little bit because it does depend on the state. Some states are more strenuous with their burden of proof, so I will give them that.
Number 2,
in this Ohio.
Number 2, depending on when you talk about specifically about theft as a crime. Theft as a crime doesn't reach felony status until it reaches a certain dollar amount. So this alleged bottle of liquor that she stole does not rise to the level of felony unless she stole like a whole truckload full of it.
I don't give a damn if she stole a pack of bubble gum. Examples need to be made.
Well, we don't know if she stole or not. Let the facts come out. I
get it, but
if she didn't steal, she would have complied with the police.
We do not. That's not true, man, and you know that. That's
TJ. Here's the problem. Like, we understand what she did wasn't a felony, but the problem is once a police interaction starts, they have to treat her. If she's in the commission of a crime, they have to treat her in a certain way because they don't know if she's armed. They don't know what state of mind she is. So they have to treat her a certain way. They can't. So
they're supposed to treat her. This was an investigative stop. That this was not something that they knew.
And she was trying to evade that.
So listen, I can't believe you guys got me defending this crap, but because I really don't want to defend it. Hold on a second. You don't have to have committed a crime in order to be stopped by the police. You don't have to have all of that. Now, I said at the beginning, her stupid decision was to fight them. It doesn't matter. If you know anything about the majority of Black culture, we do not have positive relationships with the police. And the police is the boogeyman in our community. And a lot of us, have a flight syndrome when it comes to the police. So none of that really matters to me. I'm waiting for all of the facts to come out. If she stole, then she stole. But the one thing that could never happen is two things could be true. She should have never put that car in gear. That cop should have never been in front of that car.
Exactly.
And it's only and if she did steal the alcohol, that is not a death sentence in this country.
That cop should have never been
TJ,
in front
hold
of
that thought.
What's a death sentence is when she used her vehicle as a weapon to evade arrest.
She could never.
Hold that thought. All y'all, hold that thought. I want Ryan to, because he had a rebut and he's been waiting patiently. So Ryan, please tell us what you're thinking, because you obviously said earlier you don't believe the young woman should have gotten shot. I've agreed with you. I don't think she should have gotten shot, but I also believe that was a consequence of her actions. So what do you say?
I mean, the cop, in my opinion, overreacted for sure. And
oh, you're kind of bad. Can you drop off and come back in?
Oh, sure, I can do that.
Hey guys, I got to get ready for my stream, but I appreciate the conversation and the dialogue. Okay.
Can you put your stream in the chat, because I'd like to see some of your content, because I don't think I'm acquainted with you.
Okay.
So can you put your information down there, and I'll try to check it out later. And what's the name of your channel?
Real Bravado Network.
Real Bravado Network. I think I may have seen you before. Do you hang out with some Pan-African spaces?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay, so you're like pro FBA, ADOS.
I'm pro independent thought. I've had Chaotic on my channel a couple times, so yeah. So I'm just returning a favor. Yeah, I'm pro. I just put my channel link in the description. But yeah, So I'm pro independent thought. So I don't really rock with one genre or another.
I can't hear nothing.
Something's going on with your audio.
It's back. It's back.
I still can't hear.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
You're muted, bro. Yeah, you might want to drop down. I mean, here's the reality of the situation. It was a group of these ratchet hoes going into the Kroger, and they thought that, their numbers were going to be able to fool the employees, fool the staff, fool the security, fool the police officers, and they were wrong. And the woman paid the ultimate price. Here's the thing. A lot of Black people try and act like, oh, we're just so scared of police. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. If you were so scared of police, like they act like, oh, when we have police interactions, we're taught to have our hands on 10 and 2, and we're not supposed to make any sudden moves. Well, what the hell was that? She made sudden moves. She arguing with the police. She yapping with the police. Why? Because she has no respect for male authority. Black people are not scared of the police. Y'all need to stop pushing this damn narrative. When you see all of these shootings of police officers, which I cover on my channel all the damn time, when you see how these police interactions go, where it's blatant disrespect upon the police's approach. Why the hell are you pulling me over? Da, 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 da. I mean, if we're taught to be so compliant as children to the police and not make any sudden movements, why do you see all these volatile interactions with the police? And most of the volatility is initiated by us, okay? And that's just the reality of the situation. So unless we address the reality, unless we address these clear behavior flaws that span throughout the whole community, then we're not going to see any difference in the results of these interactions.
Perfect. And also on top of that,
the police go.
Let that guy who just
okay, you muted. But okay, before D speaks, I don't know what your name is. I've seen you before, but the guy with the swords and the red and the what's your name, sir?
King Pharrell.
What King? What?
King. What's going on, brother?
Well, I can barely hear you, sir.
Is my audio bad as well?
Okay, you sound better now.
Cool. This is King. What's going on, AFR?
Okay, King what? King
Pharrell.
King Pharrell. Okay, so what do you think about this young, beautiful, black, blonde-haired woman getting deleted by this cop? Do you think it was systematic racism or low IQ?
I think it's definitely low IQ. I think she, unfortunate from hearing this details of the story, if she allegedly went in there to rob this store of whatever context, it's unfortunate, she's doing bad. But for you to be surrounded by police and giving orders and you don't comply, it's very tragic that it had to end this way. But if you're going at anyone with a vehicle, I think that is considered a deadly weapon, just like they try to allege in the Montgomery situation with the folding chair. But what I want to say is, if you think that they're going to point your car in the direction of an officer who's telling you to stop and you don't get lit up, you got another thing coming. I don't understand what it is that anybody's saying by these cops did something wrong. If anybody like to elaborate.
The cop did break police protocol.
And what is the police protocol that he broke?
Officers are supposed to approach the car from the side when starting a detention. And that's why that is literally why. I'm just talking reality.
Hey guys, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me read a couple of comments and we'll get back to this. Big Time said that cop was lifted into the air by that dead welfare queen. She effed around and found out. Man, y'all are savage with these comments. And shout out to the Sanders family. Hopefully, Shakur Sanders, hopefully he does well. Shout out to Dion. The Wavy Beaner said, coon. Mr. Priest, shout out to my beautiful black sister, Mr. Priest. These blacks are never scared of police officers. Ooh. And hey, look, I'm gonna have to agree with that a little bit because how many times, and Gen Z, don't answer this, so you can't answer this. You're excluded from this one. But how many times have we seen a black person where a cop just says, hey, sir or ma'am, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what the F you want? Why are you messing with me? Blah, blah, blah. They preemptively just go off on the cop. So it's kind of funny when people are like, they be hunting us and they hate us and they be trying to find every excuse to get us. But then we have all these hundreds of thousands of examples of black people being preemptively mean and nasty towards law enforcement officers before anything goes on. Like most of the time, these people ain't even committed a crime. They were just trying to tell them or warn them about something, and they just go off on them or whatever. So I'll say that. So were you done, King, or did you have more?
So the gentleman said that you say the officer is supposed to approach the vehicle from the side, and that's upon a traffic stop, correct?
That's upon every stop when you're trying to start a detention.
What's your name, D?
All right, cool. Yeah, so
me?
Yeah, what's your name?
David.
David, just David?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I can know. Go ahead.
So Code of Conduct for Law Enforcement Officials adopted 1979 is now...
Speak into your mic.
General Assembly Resolution 34/1/169. This reads as quick as follows. Law enforcement officials shall at all times fulfill the duty imposed upon them by law, by serving the community and by protecting all persons against illegal acts, consistent with the high degree of responsibility required by the professions. The reason I read that is because the police conduct is to stop illegal acts from happening, like, you know what I mean, disable threats, all that. And this situation is very, very unfortunate. It happened to a young black sister that was pregnant, yet it's just unfortunate that she did not try to comply with orders that would help her, still be breathing today. You're breaking the law. There's one officer is on the side. Okay, cool. Another officer approaching is literally already, you see, if you could tell by the video, the young lady wasn't trying to comply. She was going to try to make a way. So he adjusts himself in a position to show her even further, order, like, hey, don't move this car.
And when he adjusted his position, that's why they're going to lose the suit. I'm just talking about the legal outcome and what it probably will be. Pretty much, this was a huge situation with multiple incidents in the 90s going into the early 2000s, and the agreement between basically citizens review boards across the nations. It went up to the Fed, to Congress.
You're talking about dissent decrees, right?
No, well, it's the same process that they get to a dissent decree. But back in the 90s, what was going on was that going forward, people were getting shot, but also when people hit reverse, they were using the same defense. Hey, I'm in threat of my life. And they're like, hey, but you're going backwards. So the agreement was on police policy across the nation. Officers are supposed to approach any vehicle for any reason, especially if you're trying to detain. You're supposed to approach from the side. Therefore, it is virtually impossible for that vehicle to be used against a weapon against the officers. And so that's the only thing I'm saying is that's why the officer's probably going to get fired. he may get arrested, but definitely
no.
Okay, well, hold on.
I don't see that happening.
Hold on, King. Hold on, King. We'll let you. Oh, hold on, David. Okay. So you put all that out there. So
what's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jinquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
You're saying that it was systematic racism that killed her instead of low IQ?
I think it was low IQ combined with both people were kind of at fault because the minute that officer went to the front of that car, that's when the police protection from deadly force was kind of the deadly force.
You're talking about qualified immunity?
Yeah, once that deadly force was used while he was in front of the car, that's when all bets were off, because that is totally against police policy.
No, it's not. You're wrong.
Well, hold on. One at a time. Hold on. King. Hold on. King, go ahead and interject really quickly, and then Gen Z after that, and then be brave.
Right. I just wanted to because when it comes to the officers, right, I see they did everything that they could have, right? Like when you bring up what you're saying, it has its, I understand where you're getting at, but literally you have one officer at the side of the vehicle and then another officer is approaching towards the front because he already assessed the situation, right?
I hear how you feel, but I'm just talking legality.
Not about what I feel, my brother. I'm just trying to finish
I hear how you feel. I'm just talking what's legally probably going to happen.
Finish this sentence, brother, please. So what I'm saying is, as you can see in the video, the officer approaching the front of the vehicle already assessed the situation. He already could tell the little lady probably about to pull up. You can see the car actually rolling. So that is another clear order. Stop the vehicle. I'm standing here. You cannot drive no more. You can't drive towards a person.
Right.
I was like, well, stop. You guys really, we will never be able to save our young black brothers and sisters if we continue to try to.
Your voices are very distorted, King.
Yeah, your mic is going.
Your voice is.
I just want him to disprove what the police policy is. That's all I'm talking about.
Cover up the nonsense, right? This nonsense.
Am I wrong in what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on, King. Hold on, King, sir, King. It's very hard to hear what you're saying. I cannot understand what you're saying, so I would suggest you back out and try to come back in. We got about like 20 minutes, so we got to be a little bit more concise. Gen Z, can you, or if you would like to rebut what David has been saying, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so the idea that just because the officer didn't follow some, protocol that you say, they have to approach on the side of the car and the car can't be used as a weapon if they approach on the side of the car is pure fallacy. A car can be used as a weapon, whether you approach it on the side, on the front, or on the back. If the officer is on the side of the car and he's telling the woman, hey, let me see your ID, get out of the car, whatnot. And if he even has his hand to reach into the vehicle and she takes off when his hand is reaching into the vehicle, that vehicle obviously clearly can be used as a weapon. Just like when the officer stepped in front of her car and she took the car, turned the wheel and ran it straight through. That is an obvious use that she was using it as a weapon to ram through to get away and flee or resist arrest. The reality is, if that woman would have just said, okay, I didn't do anything wrong, let me get it. Even if she did do something wrong, fight it out in court, okay? Live to fight another day. But because these women have a rebellious spirit, because they don't respect male authority, because they don't fear police officers, and they feel untouchable, that is the reason why she lost her life. To harp on this, the officer should have approached this way or that way it's an irrelevant point. it's a moot point, and it
legally,
doesn't.
sir.
And I hear what you're saying, but I don't think it'll hold up.
Well, hold on, David. Let me say this, and this is just how I feel about the situation. Say if that officer broke his police policy that he wasn't supposed to get in front of the vehicle. I get that, and to me, say if he was wrong, whatever. She won the ghetto lottery. Her mama.
That's all I'm
won
saying.
The ghetto lottery, okay? And the thing about it is that's where people like the officer didn't do this on purpose to kill a black woman. He was literally trying to stop a supposed felon from fleeing from an investigation. That's what happened. So yes, if he broke departmental policy, I get that, but that just opens the door for her to get the ghetto lottery that she shouldn't be getting because her daughter was too ignorant and stupid to do the right thing. So Dave, I'm just saying, I'm not
disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just stating legally what probably is going to happen.
Well, I mean, we need to legally make sure these people don't get restitution like this anymore. It's too easy.
Yeah.
There's misconduct. Like we can go into officer misconduct and wrongful death. We can do that. We have examples of that. There's case law stating that. But this woman put herself in this situation to get deleted.
It was put in place by an agreement between police unions and civilian accountability boards. This went to Congress in the 90s.
I got you. So you're saying the government made things worse?
No, I'm saying that both parties, everybody agreed that this is the best way to approach it so that if there is a use of deadly force and the vehicle is used as can be considered as a harm to an officer, that every protection as far as looking out for the officer's protection, for the officer's own protection, everybody agreed you approach from the side of a car. That's why you probably have never witnessed any police officer ever step in front of your car.
Okay. Also, we all know traffic stops are the most deadly encounters that police officers have. And I think the second is domestic violence. Any police officers can correct me. And then I think the third is vehicle accidents or being run over or just vehicle accidents. So I'm just sorry. I have more sympathy for the police officers because they have to deal with those threats a lot. And like I said earlier, these days officers unfortunately are put in split-second situations to where they have to assess something very quick before they can react. And how many people in the West have been run over in a terroristic act by cars, terrorists, people that are intoxicated, people that are angry, people that have all these reasons running over officers, running over people, hold on. So he was trying to stop a person from fleeing a police investigation that was lawful, by the way. This was lawful for them to stop her. That's number one, right, David? Let's get some consensus. Was he lawful to stop her?
Yeah, it was lawful.
Okay, so he was lawful to stop her. Mm-hmm. She refused, and he didn't know if she had a weapon. He didn't know anything about this woman, and also he didn't know about her intent. She was combative verbally, and in intent, and all her movements, her furtive movements, everything indicated to him she was going to flee, and he took steps to stop her from fleeing. Would
that vehicle have been a detriment or used as a weapon against that officer had he followed policy and approached from the side? That's really
yes, it easily could have, because just like she turned the wheel to the right and tried to evade arrest, she could have turned it to the left and rammed him into the adjacent car. See, y'all have a narrow mindset of how these things happen. These things happen very quickly.
Admit that's police policy to approach from the side.
I mean,
he still could have got crushed from the side, sir.
Exactly. You're saying
all I'm saying is
this isn't a traditional traffic stop. This isn't a traditional traffic stop. She's in a parking lot.
The issue.
Okay, Dave. He just said it's not a traditional traffic stop. They were already in the middle of another call when they were alerted to her presence and what she was doing. So it wasn't like they just picked her out of there just as like she was alerted. They were alerted by the grocery store staff. So for one, it was already a situation that was using extenuating circumstances in the get-go. So from the get-go. So you're negating the fact that situation was already put in a volatile state by her actions.
I'm not arguing. All I'm saying, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Rick.
The police had all right to stop.
Your sound is your YouTube off because your sound is really distorted.
Oh man, I don't know what's wrong with it. Yeah, I can.
So,
Can you hear me? Is this better? Is this better?
No, I'm sorry. Your voice is really bad.
So anyway.
Yeah, go ahead, be brave. Go ahead and come back in. Yeah, come back in.
Yeah, try the mic, bro.
Hey, Ryan, I'm still playing with. Ryan. AFR, I'm still playing with this new Cash App. Did I get you a piece of Cash App? Anyway,
I think it's better now. Maybe.
So my goodness, now you're muted. AFR.
Did you send a $5 holler?
Shut in.
Okay, cool. Shout out to Be Brave, sending a $5 holler.
I don't want credit. I just want to know I'm doing it right. Hey,
yeah, you did.
You did. Okay. No, there's no way in hell that if I'm a police officer and I know that I might have to kill somebody in my job, I'm not going to make sure that I have to kill somebody. There's no way in hell that police should have got in front of that car in this circumstance. And of course, Gen Z, you're absolutely correct. A right turn into a police officer can kill him in between the car, or a left turn, or a swing back, anything. But on the side, but there's no way I would have gotten in front of that car in this circumstance. That's where it all went wrong. And the fact that that even though it all went wrong there, the fact that this nation will not be allowed to consider the fact that she put it in drive and went forward. We're not going to consider that as a nation. That's what kills me. It's like, okay, so we got two complete flaming idiots here. It's not just one flaming idiot. And the reason the people are saying
or would it be better stated that the cop was maybe overzealous? I don't want to say he was an idiot, but wouldn't you say maybe overzealous?
When you're as a police officer, when you're in situations, something wasn't clicking in his mind. At that moment, he was an idiot.
But
that didn't make any sense in that circumstance.
But you said,
and what's going on? Hold on, what's going on here with this fear of the police? 80 years ago, there was a reason. Blacks won't let it go. They won't give us credit for the last 60 years. Would you please give white folks credit for the last 60 years of improved attitude, behavior, top to bottom, civility? We're not getting it. How dare somebody say in this day and age that blacks are afraid of police? Gen Z and another content creator, they've got volumes of closed circuit cameras that show that blacks are not afraid of police in any way, shape, or form. I mean, how much do you need?
And Be Brave, thank you for saying that, because I had to be convinced, because I used to believe the anti-cop rhetoric years ago. Police are better trained, more scrutinized, and they have more funding than they've ever had before to do the right thing. And also, too, it's easier to report them for malfeasance. So
I was just getting there. Not only that, AFR, us civilians ain't putting up with it. We don't want it. It's like, stop it. Like me right now, I'm saying this cop is an idiot. I'm not playing. He's an idiot. He didn't belong in front of that car.
Hey, all the blackity blacks, Be Brave is on y'all side right now.
Well, not
for the same reasons.
I'm telling you, I want this.
You have a really bad echo.
Well, that's because I can only speak alone. I'm not agreeing with blackity blacks on this. That woman was crazy for putting that thing in drive and creating a deadly weapon. But the point is why did the cop force that? That's my point.
I don't believe the cop is culpable at all.
You guys are
the cop is it'll come out. He acted unreasonably. There was no reason to. There's follow homes. There's way to do.
I still don't believe he was culpable at all.
Here's the thing.
I'll wrap it up and shut up so I don't echo you guys. what's going on here is the fact that what kills me is that she put that thing in drive is what we're all going to miss across this nation. That's the sickest thing about all this. Let's jump that cop, okay? Gen Z, the other guy, okay, set him aside. Those of us that believe he's an idiot, let's jump him and jump him good. I don't even care if he gets prosecuted. I'm thinking the guy's got some penalty coming because of the circumstance. But my goodness, why can't we just get a hold of the fact that she put that thing in drive and she drove off slow. She didn't even gun it. He could have hopped out of the way before he shot. There's 1,000 things that need to happen. There's
hold on, give me 1 second, guys. I want to give a shout out to somebody that sent the nice $5 holla Cash App AL. I'm not going to use your name, but shout out to you. Thank you for supporting the stream. Everybody, guys, like, subscribe, and go to the other Chaotic Truth channels. Subscribe there. Interact with the channels. Go ahead, gentlemen. And also too, I want everybody to start wrapping up. So Be Brave, finish up. Then we'll start with Gen Z, and then Blacks, and then King, and then Dave you'll end it.
Okay, I'll finish up and jump off here then. But the fact is these circumstances here, they're never played out for the public to the extent that they should be and could be and could be turned into a learning situation. It's constant. It's constant black or white, no gray area. And folks, I'm telling you, I'm an old conspiracy theorist. I'm telling you, the police, I said 30 years ago, we either use the police or the police will be used against us because they're not going to stay in some neutral zone, some magic neutral zone. So what has happened, the police are now being used against us. We are by basically doing, there's one little bitty stupid thing, and the power structure takes that stupid mistake and turns it into a race divisive issue, and they don't do it by any small means. They're doing it in spades. Now, and one more sentence, folks, we all know there ain't no way, Gen Z and the other fella, there's no way that you as a police officer in this circumstance over shoplifting would have jumped in front of that car and pulled your pistol. There was something in that policeman's noggin that needs to be dealt with. Thanks, AFR.
Well, let me tell you something, because here's the thing. You said that where it all went wrong was when that police officer jumped in front of that car. No, where it all went wrong is when this ratchet ass bitch decided to go to Kroger and steal alcohol while she is pregnant. I mean, how insane do you have to be to not only drink alcohol while you're pregnant, but commit crimes while you're pregnant? Here's the thing. America is fed up with these mass lootings, okay? And you think you're gonna go into Ohio and go do that shit? Hell no, you got another thing coming. It's a wild, wild west over here. And this is not fucking California. You have to understand that these people, we're all seeing the mass looting, the mass mobbing, all these things. And guess who else is seeing it? The police officers. So everybody's on edge. And black people think that they're invincible when they're doing these things just because they seeing, oh shit, they hitting licks in California and they ain't getting caught. Well, that's because Prop 47 makes it so that they can't be arrested for anything under $950. I'm telling you right now, those laws do not apply to across the whole United States. So if you think your ass is going to go into a Kroger and steal some alcohol and be able to walk out scot-free, you got another thing coming. They coming after your ass. And that's where it all went wrong. Not when the cop jumped in front of the vehicle. He was doing his damn job.
You're right. It did start there. But I'm just saying, Gen Z, I'm just saying this, folks. None of us as policemen, and you know it, don't try to pull my damn leg. I'm too old for it. None of us as policemen would have jumped in front of that car and drew our gun in that circumstance.
I don't know. AFR wants to bring him to justice. I don't know. I probably would have jumped on the hood. I don't know. Depends how I was feeling that day.
You wouldn't have
Gen Z, was that
something went wrong in that man's thinking, terribly wrong.
Well, it'll come out in the court case. Gen Z, was that all for you, sir?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. And Blacks, you go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I don't believe that there was anything wrong with his thinking. He is there to protect and defend. And listen, I don't believe that police are all altruistic and they can do no wrong.
What's going on today? You okay, Blacks?
In this country. However,
hey, Blacks, rewind about 10 seconds. You went out.
After police.
I said, I'm not saying that the police can do no wrong. I said, as a matter of fact, the founding fathers posed the question about policing powers and whether or not police should be an institution here in the United States. But as you can see, we do need police. We need somebody outside of ourselves to be able to be some sort of authority figurehead to stop those who regard the law as questionable, as a question instead of the actual rule. And as far as him jumping in front of the vehicle, listen, I don't know what I would have done. I was in the United States Army, and there have been plenty of vehicles I've jumped in front of with my service weapon to stop them from entering, a gate, a domicile, time, using force, necessary force to stop people from creating situations that would be detrimental to innocent bystanders and citizens, most importantly, of these United States. So yeah, I don't believe he did anything wrong in that regard. Like Gen Z said, where this went wrong was when she decided to go into a Kroger, pregnant and all, and steal. They are breaking the law. I'm not here to say who's more wrong. She is more wrong because now she put herself in the predicament where force was necessary. She got a free abortion. Yeah, I did say that because it's not a question as to who's more wrong. Let me clarify that since you couldn't get it. I'm not here to say who's doing more wrong. There's no question who was more wrong. It was her. She was more wrong because she forced his hand, forcing the hand of somebody whose job it is to enforce the law. And then I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what you're going to do with that vehicle that can kill me. So if it's me or you, it's gonna be me.
Jump in front of it then.
Hold on, Dave. If
it's me or you, it's gonna be me. But I don't know I don't know if you served. I don't know if you've ever carried a weapon in the pursuance of service to the United States or any municipality. But I'll tell you.
Hold on. Blacks, just go ahead and finish that, Blacks.
I don't know.
David, hold on, David. Just go ahead and finish Blacks.
Operate under the same protocols.
As Dave, hold on. Just
that would be a no. But the United States military still does policing, and they still carry weapons. And again, I don't know if you have ever had to carry a weapon to maintain peace, and if you had to deal with situations where you were on edge to maintain peace. But it is never cut and dry. Adrenaline runs thick. And if you have the power to maintain the peace, you're going to use it, period. It's not because that is part of your training. He doesn't need to be retrained. He did nothing wrong. The person who was wrong, and emphatically so, is the woman. Hindsight is 20/20, and we can all Sunday night freaking manage. We could all
Monday night quarterbacking.
Thank you. We could all Monday night quarterback, dude. We could all do that, but it's not the case. In the situation when somebody's trying to end your life with a vehicle, you don't know what you would do.
All right, Dave.
She was tricked into killing him. He tricked her into killing him. Circumstances are different, Blacks Who Defy. Of course, in the military, you've got to stop somebody for reasons that are very understandable. She was tricked into losing her damn stupid, low IQ mind into becoming a stupid weapon, and she was tricked by somebody that was supposedly in a position to think better and to do better so we can have tranquility in the name of using our police responsibly. responsibility.
She sure was tricked into stealing that liquor. She sure was tricked into stealing that liquor.
Anyway,
she was tricked into taking the license plate off of her car.
I'll say this and get off. I promise I'll say this and get off.
No. She sure was tricked into taking
Let him finish, Black. Let him finish.
Car and stealing that liquor and coming out in pursuance of a felonious action. She sure was tricked into doing that.
No,
I got it.
She was tricked into losing her mind, and that policeman should have never been in front of that car. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to come out, and it's going to be as so. And the whole thing is this. We better stop defending police for every little thing they do, because this is something that shouldn't have happened. I don't care how low IQ or half retarded she was. You don't go around killing retarded people by doing something stupid like getting in front of their car and giving them the ability to make them think that they can destroy you. That's not very smart as a policeman. But hey, it's a pleasure, folks.
I guarantee you wouldn't have gave two shits if she ran that officer over. Guaranteed.
Oh no, you wouldn't care. Okay, Dave, can you answer this question and then go into your ending statement, your closing statements? Have you actually served America in the capacity of being in the military or being a police officer in the community? No? Okay, so you really wouldn't really understand being in a situation where you have to make a split-second decision while being under standards and rules that you have to follow. So you really, I'm just going to be honest, as a man who had to do similar things to what Blacks Who Defy described, I've had to do some similar things like that. And you have standards you have to abide by. And if you break those, you're courting Fort Leavenworth. And if you don't do anything, you're going to lose your life and the lives of your friends. So, so I think he is right in that regard that you would have difficulty understanding that concept. And go ahead into your final statement.
All right, my final statement is I'm talking strictly about the legality of what's going to happen when you go to court.
You don't know the law, sir.
So, police policy, and you should understand this, it is not just some type of group thing. While everybody on this panel, whenever you've been pulled over, they always approach to the side of the vehicle. This is because there was an agreement between police unions and citizens across America. It went to Congress, late 90s, to stop this same thing as vehicles and the harm of officers and also the protection of the citizens. Police are supposed to never go in front of that vehicle while starting a detainment situation. That's when everything went wrong. The first officer, you notice, he never left the side of that vehicle. So if he would have ever had to shoot or anything like that, he would have had the protection of police policy and police procedures. The person who actually did go in the front of that car and pull the trigger does not have that protection because out of all the training, they trained this, he did not follow procedure and policy. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so do you know for a fact?
I know for
that that's his department. Okay, so it's Blandonville or Blandville or Blandon or something.
America. Have you ever? Let's take this. We don't live in any of the same neighborhoods or states.
Don't know what you're talking.
Have you ever?
I'm just gonna be honest. If you don't have their department policies in front of you, you're just speculating.
I don't understand. I'm saying.
Okay, I understand there's federal guidelines, but for some reason, I'm not convinced you know what you're talking about, sir.
Name the law. Name the law.
Hold on, let me look it up. I'm gonna put it on pause.
Okay, while you're doing that, is that you, King? I can't tell the avatar.
Yeah, that's me. Hey, can
you give your final statement real quick?
Am I coming through clear?
Yes.
Cool. What the gentleman is trying to pretty much articulate is PSC. It's a term utilized in the law enforcement. It's part of protocol and it's described.
Do you know what that stands for? You said PSE?
PSC.
PSC.
Passenger side contact. So this is what the guy's trying to talk about. So this is what they actually created. It's called passenger side contact. So when you approach the vehicle, you approach from this passenger side to pretty much mitigate like any crazy threats. to lessen any crazy threats or accidents, and depending on where you pull up, having the traffic stop and things like that, right?
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Can I interject a little bit? If I'm not mistaken, that's kind of like, okay, the passenger side contact, but that's usually when there's like a lead officer and the secondary officer, and the secondary officer goes to the passenger side to contact them, right?
Right. So no, initially, so that's what the brother's trying to articulate. So that's how it was, whatever. But on like if it's one officer, they initially would want to go
to the passenger side,
passenger, right? Because that's like the primary advantage of the PSC. It is that the driver and occupants anticipate the officer will step up to the driver's side. So it knocks it pretty much destables the suspect's thinking, or just pretty much disarm them.
Yeah, it makes it more difficult to take any any offensive action against the officer. I get that.
Right, and then they go with verbal commands and things like that. But I want to read this specific part right here.
Go ahead.
It says, assessing the footing and retreat space. These are certain specific cop terms. Assessing the footing and retreat space that an officer will have on the passenger side of a suspect vehicle takes a moment more than what is more easily in sight with the driver's side approach. The officer should pause before making the final approach to determine if he will be unsteady or limited in movement at the point of contact. The reason I read that is because as you see where she was illegally parked at, right? I think it was like another car or something like that. I mean, literally by the facts and evidence that you see, you can tell that if she's being difficult with the cop on the driver's side, for him to put himself on the passenger side, she's already going to be difficult with him. So for him to try to engage, right, like, and make her aware that, yo, you can't do nothing, which she pretty much didn't really care for. He placed himself in the proper position right in front of the car. Yeah. At the end of the day, if somebody moves towards a person that's in front of a car, that person is wrong. And that car has become a weapon, and the cop has lawfully, and he has duty, and he has to disable the threat.
Thank you for that.
I just wanted to end off with saying, again, this is very, very unfortunate, though, that, another young black youth has lost their lives, especially pregnant. Damn, it reminds me.
She wasn't a youth; she was a grown woman.
Respectfully, you're right.
And she was a mother to multiple kids.
It's also part of covering up the bullshit. You're right. Once you're an adult, you're an adult. So you should start acting like an adult, not like a little ratchet teen still in fucking Mad Dog 2020s. Excuse my language. Still in Mad Dog 2020s. But it reminds me 5 months ago of a young lady. I think her name was Genesis Escobar. She was also 21, pregnant. And she tried to rob someone at a car, like carjack or rob them. This person up the switch on her, and they up the switch on her, and they whatever it was. I guess they tried to take. She tried to take from them. They threw the money, like whatever money they tried to get from her. She tried to get from them. They left it on her dead body and just left like they got up out of there. So,
damn, sounds like there was a man trying to rob another man.
It's just very unfortunate that these young or these early adults are already experiencing,
because they do not appreciate
such hardships in life.
They don't appreciate the gravity of consequence.
Right.
That's
right,
why.
That's very true. I was just going to end off by saying that we should continue to pray for the community and do our best to utilize our experiences to show better examples.
Thank you, King. I think prayers are a little too late for the community. We're past that. That ship has sailed. We're a little bit past that, but I like the sentiment. Somebody's got to care, and it has to be you, not me. Dave, do you have that law handy to read to us really quickly?
No,
kind of keep it concise.
No, I do not. I'm just asking once he's leaving.
You don't. Surprise.
I know what he's talking about. I think Dave is a certified imbecile for the blacks. I'm sorry. I love you in power and in God. You guys have a great one.
Shout out to our blackity black. Shout out to you, Dave. And shout out to you, King. Okay, so Dave, you don't have the law that you kept crowing about for the last hour and repeating it, so you don't have that handy, which is cool. That's why I questioned you. So here's the deal. Dave, what is your and we'll end it here and we'll have a couple of quick comments. But Dave, what do you think the solution is to people being emboldened to commit these low-level, non-felonious crimes that don't hurt anybody? What do you say to kind of stop this instead of it getting to the officer shooting this woman fleeing in a violent manner?
You're asking what should have been done?
Well, what would be your solution to stop this young woman from stealing that liquor or getting in that situation? Because there's a systematic. Do you think there's a systematic failure here?
You can't.
I'm sorry.
I don't think anything could have stopped her from going into the store and doing what she had on her mind. I don't.
Okay, so another question. Let me rephrase it. What would have prevented her death besides obviously the officer didn't jump in? He shouldn't have jumped in front of the vehicle. Anything besides that?
You're taking away the primary thing that would have stopped it. That is the main thing that would have stopped that.
What about her starting the car?
Oh yeah, that could have definitely stopped it.
I'm trying to level with you, Dave, but you're making it difficult.
I thought you were talking about the shooting and the car being a threat to the officers.
Well, there were several things that led up to that, but I'm just curious as to besides, because obviously you want to blame the officer. We know that.
No.
You are blaming the officer by saying he shouldn't have been stepped in front and been in front. That's literally just saying it was his fault. But what I'm saying is besides that part of the fault, outside of that, what other part of that situation do you think would have saved her life or prevented her from losing her life? What do you think?
You said it, not going forward.
No, take that out of there. There's other factors. What other factor do you see that could have prevented her from losing her life? You said one, but we're gonna gloss over that. But what else?
How about bring money to the grocery store next time, dumb bitch?
That is the main factor. That would have prevented it.
So why do you want to blame the police officer out of all the factors that led up to that?
Okay, you finish your sentence.
No, I'm just saying, it just seems that you're dead set on blaming. We can talk about the actions of the officer. That's fine. Hold on, Dave. We can talk about the actions of the officer, but it seems like you're dead set on blaming the officer. And I said, okay, cool. Even if it was his fault, there were other factors that led up to it. Several things. And you're kind of dancing around the other factors that could have prevented her from dying. So I'm just curious, what else besides the officer? Take the officer out of it.
I say this every time I get into my point. I am only talking about legally what is going to happen.
You didn't even bring the law.
But you were wrong legally. You didn't bring it up.
Okay, so
you've had plenty of time to search the law.
Whenever this is settled, I will gladly come back on to discuss.
No, so you need discovery and the evidence to come out in trial. You don't have the law. Just say that. You don't know what the law is. You're just citing something that you think is true.
You saw a Vice News article. You saw a Vice News video on cops running people over from 20 years ago, and now you're basing your opinion off of that.
I lived through how the law got put in place. This is not a
new so how come you can't? I gave you time to look it up on the internet to present it, sir.
I can't find it.
My God. Listen. I'm out of here. I appreciate you, AFR man, for having me.
All right, Blacks. Thank you for stopping by.
All right.
Look, I want to send a shout out. Hold on 1 second, Dave. Hold on 1 second, Dave, hold on 1 second. I want to send a shout out to Black Tie, who sent $1. I'll buy that for $1. He said $1 for good job, Steve Harvey. See, Negroes kill me. My mustache ain't in yet. I can't claim Steve Harvey yet. And plus, I'm not bald. I got my hairline showing. So y'all and you sent $1. I'll get on you later. I'll go on you later. Okay. So we're at the end. David said a lot. Black Gen Z, what would you tell white police officers out there that see a super gremlin on Demon Time in their car and they're getting ready to take off? Should they just think about their family, their pension, and their future and just say, let the black do it? Or should they just do their job and stop the black from committing a crime? What would you say to these white police officers?
So, I mean, the way that the social sentiment is now, then I would just advise them to look the other way. You know, let the shit go down. When the ops slide on a black neighborhood, just let it go down, because that is what you're asking for if you are telling these officers not to do their job. See, these officers, they took an oath to protect and serve. And when you have individuals who are breaking the law continuously, okay, this is not the first time this woman has been involved in anything, and endangering the lives of others, then if you are punishing the officers for doing their jobs, then we're not going to be able to see justice. So, I mean, nowadays, just like California, the officers have admitted, hey, we can't do anything for you. We can't protect you. And the police commissioner in LA has said that verbatim. Why? Because their hands are tied. So, I mean, to me, it's hilarious to watch, because we're saying defund the police and and then when one of our loved ones gets shot, when they're like, well, the police ain't doing enough and they should have had it. No, you can't have it both ways. You can't demand the defunding of the police and then get upset when response times are slow. Okay, so the reality is, Black people just need to do the right thing. That's all that it comes down to. If this woman did the right thing, showed up to that Kroger with her Kroger Plus card and some money and maybe some damn coupons, then she wouldn't have to steal no fucking liquor. But because she was hell-bent on doing the wrong thing, doing the illegal thing, doing the dishonorable thing, and stealing while she's pregnant, stealing alcohol while she's pregnant, she was going to go home and drink her pain away, and they were going to laugh at how they hit a lick on Kroger, and they were going to do it again next week. So she got her just dessert, and that's karma for you right there. An action that caused a reaction, and now she not only lost her own life, but she lost the life of her clump of cells. So she got a free abortion.
Man, you was killing them in the chat with that earlier. That was hilarious. I couldn't read too much, but that was hilarious. You had somebody trigger. But look, here's the deal. And thank you, Gen Z Mindset, man. You a gem. Like I said, I'm sitting with a new founding father. You heard it here first on CT Reacts channel. Because here's the deal. Okay, Dave, actually, I'll go to you, Dave. What would you say to white police officers out there serving the community, and they see a young, black, beautiful queen in the car, and she looks like she's gonna drive off? You're just saying, just let her go. Just let the queen go. Dave, you there? Okay, he's not there. Cool. Okay, moving on. So, thank you everybody for stopping by. This is America First Rifleman. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting some more content on my main channel. Please subscribe. What's up, Dave? That's you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So what would you say to that? Did you hear my question?
Yeah, I heard the question.
Okay, so what would you say to that white police officer?
To all police officers?
Just the white police officer that sees that beautiful black American queen with that beautiful, platinum blonde hair, platinum blonde hair. She's in the car. She's maybe upset, and she looks like she's turning the key. What do you think the cop should do? He just let the queen go?
No, I would wait. You just saying she's sitting there doing nothing?
Well, there was a crime or something. Police, they don't just target people. They usually are told a crime was committed or something happened, and he's investigating.
She's sitting in the car.
And he's investigating something, and she's trying to drive off. Should he just let the queen go?
I would what I'm telling them, follow the policy for your own protection. Because what I'm saying, all I'm saying is legally. Do I agree with you, man? Hell no. But I'm saying the minute that dude stepped in front, that's not police policy. And a lot of the protections that police officers have are bound by policy. That's all I'm saying is that from my experience, what I know, how this law and the reason why police officers approach, if you have two, they approach one on the driver and one on the passenger. That how can I say it? That normal course of action didn't just come from anywhere. That literally came from incidents like this. It was like 20 of them in the 90s until everybody actually got together and said, hey, it is more safe for the police officer's life.
The law that you can't cite that you've been trying to cite the whole time. Okay, I got you. Okay, gotcha.
It is more safe to be approaching from the side of the vehicle. Therefore, that way, if they go forward or back, the officers' lives aren't in danger. That's all I'm saying is due to going in the front of that car legally when it comes to civil recourse as far as the lawsuit, probably that officer will be fired. That's something I'm almost guaranteed of. Arrested, it's probably about a 60-40. Lawsuit with $1 million payout, that's almost guaranteed.
Well, I hope if he gets fired, he comes down to Atlanta and gets a job here. And I hope he's welcome with full arms, because we need more officers who are going to act. We need more officers who are not scared to defend the laws.
Okay. On that note, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Gen Z. And I'll go on my last little diatribe really quickly. Here's the deal. You heard it here first. We know we have a deficit when it comes to intelligence in the Black community. We have an adversarial relationship to the truth in the Black community. And it's very sad. It's a detriment and it's dangerous. It's costing us lives every day. And my last message to my fellow Black Americans: comply, comply, comply. Just comply. Even if you know the law, the statute, they're violating your rights. We understand that. Live to fight another day, my beautiful Black Americans. I want you to be able to live a full life. We already have low life expectancies without the cops killing us. So let your life last a little longer. And the last thing I'll say is to the white cops out there. Things ain't so great for y'all right now, depending on where you live, especially a lot of these big liberal cities. Things are tough for you, white officer. And I'm going to be honest, I feel bad for you. One, you decided to go to a city where you know they don't like you. They never liked you, at least for the last 30, 40 years. And the people who commit the most crimes where you live, I ain't gonna say who they are, they hate you. They don't want to be around you. You don't want to be around them. And you risk your life every day in places where the politicians, the corrupt politicians that you work for and the citizens, they hate you, bro. They really hate you. So my suggestion, if you're a police officer in Virginia Beach, Virginia, if you're a police officer in Jacksonville, Florida, if you're a police officer in New Orleans, if you're a police officer in San Bernardino, a police officer in Los Angeles, a police officer.
All those police officers.
Hold on, you don't get to talk because your talking time is done, David. You don't talk. This is my time to talk.
Bring up the law, then you can talk.
Exactly. So if you're a cop in Houston, Texas, San Bernardino, go to where you're wanted. They have programs in North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, all these places where all the white people live. They want you to be there to help people who want your help. North Dakota, You might get the Beverly Hillbillies, you know what I'm saying? Cletus and his methed out family. Everybody knows who those people are. So you're gonna know to be on caution with them. But the vast majority of people there, they're gonna be just like you. Regular white folks that just want to live their life, collect their paycheck and their pension, chill with their kids and their family. Go to greener pastures. Yes, it's not gonna have the nice Mexican and Spanish restaurant you like, or the amenities and the dancing and all the crazy cool school, even though those places have really good schools that will educate your children, but there may be amenities that you miss. But you will have your life, your family, your house, your peace of mind. I implore you, white police officers, move to where you are wanted, because you could be saving your life. And the last thing I'm gonna say is hit that Cash App. Hit that Cash App right now. And subscribe to Gen Z Mindset. And Dave, any last words for the white police officer, sir? Okay, he's gone again. All right, thank you, everybody. This has been a great live stream. I try to have it an hour and a half. It's going on 3 hours. Thank you, CT, for this opportunity once again, for letting us live stream this long. And come back and see me on Tuesday morning. I will be on time next time, because I will just walk off of work. So I will be here next time on time at 9 a.m. Eastern time. See you guys again.
Peace.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car.